Can you explain to our audience what is the International Atomic Energy Agency, the IAEA, and what role, if any, they had in providing intelligence to the United States or Israel that was used to attack Iran?
The IAEA has played a disgraceful role. It operates under the auspices of the United Nations, and it's responsible for inspecting the nuclear facilities and um, countries of signatories to the Non-Proliferation Treaty, which includes Iran. And the IAEA is basically, because of that role that it plays, it's a target for US and Israeli influence. And its current Secretary General, Rafael Grossi, was brought to power after his uh, predecessor died sort of mysteriously, who was too rigorously attempting to resist Israeli pressure. Grossi came in with support from the US, support from Israel, and Iran leaked some documents it claimed to have obtained through an intelligence coup in Israel, showing that Grossi was actually coordinating with Israeli IAEA officials on his way towards becoming Secretary General. So just about 48 hours before Israel attacked Iran, the IAEA introduced a disgraceful resolution declaring that Iran was not in compliance with the NPT, the Non-Proliferation Treaty. And if you actually read the text of it and know the details, many of them the allegations date back to 2003 and are the products of Israeli fabrications about Iran's nuclear program that were just simply recycled from past attempts to get the US to intervene or to shatter the JCPOA the US signed in 2015. So why recycle all these past allegations at a time like this when Israel was threatening to strike? And let's look even more closely at that timeline. The resolution was, I think, introduced on June 11th or June 10th. Okay, on April 12th, Donald Trump sent a letter to Iran's leader, Khamenei, offer, calling for negotiations on the nuclear issue. And he said, I am going to give you a 2-month timeline. And if you don't accept this timeline and we don't make a deal by then, there will be a war. This has been widely reported. It's on the public record now. Right before the timeline expired, the 60 days or so expired, Netanyahu went to Trump and asked Trump to green light an Israeli attack and use the timeline to pressure Trump and said, look, they haven't made a deal by this point. Let me just do it. And Trump lazily shrugged and said, okay, even though that Sunday there were negotiations planned. I assume that Netanyahu went to Trump not only because of the timeline, but also because of the IAEA resolution accusing Iran of violating the NPT. And it looks like coordination. And beyond that, okay, on Friday the 13th, Israel killed 9 more Iranian nuclear scientists. Israel has been assassinating Iranian nuclear scientists for years. I went to the shrine to Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, who is considered the Oppenheimer of Iran, in the Tajrish, at a shrine in Tajrish in North Tehran. And he's just a revered figure who was killed by the Mossad after they shipped in a remote controlled machine gun into Iran and they attacked his convoy. Mohsen Fakhrizadeh's name first appeared as a target in a PowerPoint presentation given the year prior by Netanyahu, who accused him of developing nuclear weapons and so forth. How did Netanyahu get Fakhrizadeh's name? It happened right after Rafael Grossi became Secretary General. And Iran, after obtaining all these nuclear documents from Israel in this intelligence coup, claims that the IAEA was supplying Israel with the names of nuclear inspectors. Not nuclear inspectors, top nuclear scientists and their names are kept secret because of the threat they face. Um, I actually met the son of Iran's top quantum theorist who was shot dead in his front lawn when this guy was 14 years old. He told me about it. So this has been happening for years. And Iran believes the IAEA is actually colluding with Israel to get their nuclear scientists killed. This is a scandal, a titanic scandal of historic proportions. And the story hasn't really been told to the US, to US citizens yet. But what it will lead to, this disgraceful, perfidious behavior by the IAEA, is Iran leaving the NPT and ultimately developing a nuclear weapon in order to survive as a nation.